This is Nadisha in Chicago, and you're watching my channel, Knowledge for Quality of Life. Friends, I welcome to those who have recently joined the channel, and I welcome to the community of learners. And hopefully, we will have a two-way dialogue in comments and, suggestions and reviews and all that. And today, I'm going to be sharing some thoughts and some perspective on this body, which is a gift from God. If you look at all three major monotheistic faith, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, all are emphasizing the same concept that this body is a gift from God, and we have to keep this body in good care, and take it into the best shape, keep it in the best shape, because this body houses the soul, which is the uh, essence of our life. So I will share some thought based on that concept, that how we can take care of our body, which we have discussed before. But we can nourish this body with food, of course. When we talk about food, when we talk about diet, either we can nourish this body with the wholesome food, the way nature has made it, or we can take this body down the hill by feeding it ultra processed food. Now, what are the things which, because I've been questioning this myself, that what are the things which ultra processed food carries, that it is detrimental to our health in the long run. Now, when I say that it's detrimental, it doesn't do overnight or even a month or even a year. It takes habit of feeding the ultra processed food to this body, and the results are so damaging in the long run that it takes sometimes years to reveal that. And the moment we see this, it comes in the form of symptoms, but there is a appearance wise, the symptoms, you can see that, your body, your shape, your how you feel, many things, right? And we have to see that, what are the things which we have been feeding this body with ultra processed food. So let me share my screen, to dig some concept here, that what ultra processed food entails. Now, ultra processed food contains ingredients that displaces nutrients. Remember that, the food which we eat to nourish our body is for nutrition. So we get enough nutrients, enough vitamins, enough minerals, so that we can get strength and our body can get nourished, and our health remains better, right? In the long run. So that's the whole concept. But when we feed our body the ready-made food, which is a quick, because time has put so much tax in our life that we don't have time. Everybody is busy. So we always get to the ready-made stuff, which are basically ultra processed food. Now, ultra processed food has high sugar, salt, unhealthy fats, industrial additives, emulsifiers, sweeteners, colors, flavors, you name it, because they have to sell into the market. Of course, they have to increase the shelf life now, and they have to make it tasty for the consumers, right? So it's kind of like an addiction to the consumer, that once you get indulgent with it, and then you want more, and this overconsumption, takes its course in seeing the ill health and our health down the drain in the years ahead. So, I mean, of course, when I go to a doctor, let's say with my ailment and any sort of ailment, my doctor is going to say that, I have a pill for every ill. That's the mantra out there. All right. So now we have to think back, that what are the measures, what are the steps which we can take so that we may not reach to that level. Okay. So that's what we are talking about here. Now, this overconsumption, of course, this ultra processed food is not going to give you a satiety, fullness. Of course, you are going to eat frequently, more frequently, and then it leads eventually to the concept of insulin resistance, which is mother of all the diseases, which I have mentioned in the past. Now, this leading to a lower nutrient intake because, this alters our gut health. Future of health is a microbiome. They say that, we have 130 trillion cells in our human body, but we have a more microbiome, more cultures and bacteria of various forms, in our gut. And sometimes when we eat these ultra processed food, they die. And of course, we are feeding our body with a lot of antibiotics, or when we get infected and whatnot, we get a lot of drugs, and we kill all our microbiome, good bacteria. And that's why you will be surprised that when somebody has a loose motion or diarrhea, doctors say that you go and get the special type of yogurt which has a 𝗵𝗂𝗵𝗵 bacteria, so that because when somebody has a loose motion or diarrhea, we deplete those good bacteria to the waste, and doctors recommend that we take 𝗵𝗂𝗵𝗵 bacteria and different cultures to replenish our good microbiome, right? So remember that because this ultra processed food is the biggest culprit in inhibiting the nutrient absorption and altering the gut health, okay, which is the biggest concerns in the years ahead. Of course, it has metabolic issues, despite sometimes adding back synthetic vitamins as well. Key culprits include high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, hydrolyzed proteins, flavor enhancers, preservatives, thickeners, gelling agents, and artificial flavors. Just take an example of a soda can. One can of pop has about 9 to 10 teaspoons of sugar. Now, if I were to ask somebody, can you eat 10 spoons of sugar? Of course, they'll say, are you crazy? Why would I eat 10 teaspoons of sugar? But, they take this pop without knowing that, it has 9 to 10 teaspoons of sugar. Now, the industry has come up with, zero calories concept, but that actual sugar is replaced by a lot of artificial junk, which is also creating a detrimental effect in the long run, which you may not know now in a year or so, but eventually one would realize that what it will do to you. All these artificial sweeteners and everything are in the same boat. So what do we do? Now, key inhibiting ingredients, what do we look for, right? So one thing I have learned over the years, train myself, train my brain, that I always look for the nutrition label at the back, right? And try to read the fine prints, really, not the nutrition label based on the dosage of the RDA, that what it entails, but the bottom ingredients, actually, where they have listed what kind of ingredients they have included in this product. And besides sugar and sweeteners, we have fats, oils, hydrogenated and saturated and unhealthy fats like soybean, all these seed oils which are loaded with omega-6 and 9, and that creates inflammation. And I talked about, and I will discuss more in the future, the inflammatory marker ℏ/CRP. It's inside what's happening, because we can't see anything inside. It's the blood work which tells you everything what is happening inside. Just like I have always given you analogy of an engine oil in a car, that if you take the engine oil and you send it for the lab testing, it can tell you everything that how your engine is falling apart or breaking it down in different metals and minerals, right? And you can state the state of the condition of the engine, that how your engine is coming up with based on your driving and maintenance and all that, right? So same thing, same concept. We have our blood. If you take the blood, and more science and technology is increasing in a way that more and more sophistication of different markers and tests, and things are coming in the pipeline. But what do we do with that test? That's the question. I see a lot of people are going for the test, but they don't follow it up with the results, because if the results are coming, not the way they intended, what are the things, what are the measures which we are taking to improve it, over the course of time. Of course, there is nothing quick fix, but it takes time to fix it. Protein, hydrolyzed proteins, industrial formulation. There are a lot of things like monosodium glutamate. Of course, this is a banned product, but still, some products carry it, in the third world countries. You have to be mindful of. Recently I was at the one grocery store, Asian grocery store, and there was a sambar mix. And I have seen that there was an ingredient which is banned in the United States, particularly it's banned in EU, European Union, which is ethylene oxide. It's one of the carcinogen. It triggers the cancer, and that was included in that. So always pay attention, extra attention, because what we are putting today, it may not happen something tomorrow, but down the line, it may give us some kind of a detrimental effect to our health. Then we have preservatives, emulsifier and stabilizers, lecithin, mono diglycerides, and a lot of other things which they have to add in the product to make it tasty, and so that we get hooked to it. Basically, as I said, that food industry is so kind enough to give us all these things, ultra processed food, to the humans, and drug industry is taking care of our illnesses. So basically they are working as a tag team. That's how I look at it. Okay. And artificial flavors, one example comes to my mind, that bromide, various compounds of bromide is added to the breads and pastas and a lot of other things, which increases the shelf life. But that bromide depletes iodine, because you see a lot of people have issues related to their thyroid, because if I'm not taking enough iodine to begin with in my food, and on top of it I'm taking ultra processed food which is loaded with bromide, of course whatever iodine I'm getting, itty bitty small fractions, that's going to deplete as well. So I'm low on iodine, nobody's taking care of their selenium, so of course their thyroid is going to go on the high side, and then hypothyroidism is an issue, and of course you'll be handed over by the doctor synthroid medication. So all these things, it has a domino effect. We have to take a step back and start thinking, start rewiring our brain, that are we eating for nutrition, or we are eating in a way that we are taking unintentionally our health down the line. Because nothing comes, all these illnesses which we are seeing around us, it's not natural, it's our own doing, which is going to come and haunt us in the long run. How they inhibit nutrient displacement. High sugar, salt, fat content means less room for nutrient dense whole food. Reduced satiety. Of course, as I said, that it's not going to feel you that you have eaten enough, and you are going to eat frequently. But if your meals, whatever, it's one time or two times, or if it's a whole food, the way nature has created, and it's good fats, it has complex carbs, it's going to keep you fill longer, and you're going to eat less. Full time eating less, it means insulin sensitivity. You are not going to give a spike to your insulin. You are not going to give spikes to your blood glucose, and that's good in the long run. Altered food matrix. Industrial processing changes the physical structure, affecting nutrient absorption and gut health, because the molecules gets altered the way nature has designed it in a whole food, and if you send it to the processing, the molecular structure gets altered, and that inhibits the nutrient absorption as well. Gut microbiome impact, as I mentioned. So by replacing whole foods with these industrial formulation, ultra-processed foods provide minimal nutritional value while contributing to diet-related diseases. Okay, let me stop share my screen here. So what I have given a message today here, that this body is a gift, amanah, or trust, from God to us, and we have to do everything in our power to take care of it. In fact, I mentioned that monotheistic faith believes in that the body is a gift of God to humans, right? In fact, Hinduism believes in that too as well. And I think all the different believers, even the concept of people who don't believe in any faith, they will understand that there is a soul inside our body, and we have to keep this body in shape, in right form, so that that soul is there happily, and we can fulfill both the world responsibility, the world of matter and the world of the spirit. Okay, so this is the concept of the material world and spiritual world. That's why we have this responsibility that to take care of our body. So feed our body, the whole foods. Now, when you go to the next time grocery store or shop your produce, make sure that you are reading the labels. Sometimes they have a PLU stickers. I hope that some of you may have noted in the United States, and PLU stickers have certain number of codes. Now, if the number starts with 3 or 4, that is conventional produce. Okay, that is a conventional produce. Conventional produce can use synthetic fertilizers, pesticides and all that. But if the produce is starting with 9, with 5-digit code, starts with 9, those are organic produce. Okay, and particularly pay attention to the produce which starts with PLU code 8. 8 is a no, it's a GMO. Okay, it's genetically modified produce, so stay away from those. If you think that buying organic is out of your budget, those PLU numbers which starts with 9, then go for 4 or 3 conventional produce. That's fine. But stay away from GMO, because you don't want to have a modified genetically product in your body. Okay, so I hope that you have this concept going forward. And if you have any questions, comments, please include in the comment section, and I'll try to respond to you. Remember that there is no quick fixes in life. There is only a quick fix when you go to a doctor, that he will say that I have a pill for every ill, and that pill is not going to give us any fix, but that pill is going to create another pill because of the side effect. We have to take care of it. And then as we age, I've seen people from Sunday to Monday, they keep adding the pills. Okay, and that pill gets like a box. So that's the whole idea, to stay away from that, because each and every pill creates a detrimental side effect. And doctor is not going to look for the root cause, that why it's causing it. When you're going to tell him or her the symptoms, the doctor is going to give you another pill, and then pill after pill. It's a vicious circle. It's never ending. So eat as nature has produced, close to the nature, live close to the nature. That's the bottom mantra. Okay, I hope to see you next week, and until then, bye.